Good morning. Back with another episode to see what we can pull out of the recycling stack, see what works to go on eBay, make some profit. A couple quick things. I really appreciate everybody watching the videos. Apparently, there are a few people that don't like them, and that's okay. I'm new at this, and I'm sure things will get better. I don't script anything because I'm pulling these off the stack for the first time, seeing them just like you are for the first time, at least in some time. I don't know in advance what we're dealing with, so therefore I can't obviously write a script. At any rate, it's more of a stream of consciousness, a stream of thought thing happening. So that's that. But anyway, for those of you who are liking the videos and coming back and seeing them all, the channel is well on its way to, doing something a little bigger. So that's awesome. Okay, first one we have today is we have a Lenovo G560. I actually already plugged it in and turned it on. It is working. This particular one, it's really low end ish. It's got a regular Pentium chip in it. It's a Windows 7 era machine. However, it may very well be worth something. Just the motherboard. And, when we do this, we kind of try to go off of the idea that we want to not spend more or not list anything that's less than like $30. So let's search for this here. Search. All right. So they're listing 35, 56, 86, 55, 56, but you kind of want to go on what is sold. So we're going to go down here to sold items, and November. See, it's not the same one here. This says G570, but it's completely different, or G560, but it's a completely different board. I don't know what that's about. This is the board we've got, I'm sure. So that's sold for that. And yeah, so I'm thinking this one I think we could get $30 off of this one. So that's what we're going to go with on this one, is 30 bucks. Also, I would show you, going back to our profit and loss, the other day when we did for today's one, the other day when we did the hard drives, I've actually sold about 10 of these so far at about $16 average a piece. So $161 or $160 is what we're looking at so far, and that's only been a few days. So that's going to turn out to be something over time quite nice. Okay, going back to the next one. Let's see what we've got. Okay, I had to stop and start again after a while, but I'm ready to go. So the next one is kind of interesting. It was obviously water damage. It'll be interesting to see if this works. It's interesting because it's a part and it was in recycling stacks. So it doesn't show a whole lot of damage on the board. A little bit on the hinge and a little bit on the Wi-Fi card, but I don't see much. Well, there's a little bit down here. I don't know if you can see that too well, but there's a little bit of damage here, little bit of corrosion. So we're going to try to fire it up. If it does not fire up, I'm going to put it under the microscope, throw some alcohol on this, put new RAM in here because the RAM is showing a good amount of corrosion there. Yeah, there we go. See? And I will clean this out here and maybe put some RAM over here instead, something like that. But we'll see if we can get this going, because this looks to be a pretty decent computer. It's a 7th Gen i5. It's a Dell. So, yeah. So why don't I just skip the formalities, and I'm just going to pull out the motherboard. Make it real easy. All right, let's do this. Okay, we have the essentials, meaning we have the motherboard, the fan, which for me is really just an indicator that something is doing something. And we got the power button. Power button, yeah, feels good. Okay, so now we got to take a look at a couple things under this microscope. It's pretty bad. This corrosion is pretty bad. This is the back side of the RAM. Yeah, see, when I thought it wasn't that bad, that was before going under this. But you know, believe it or not, most of the time you can get away with this kind of corrosion still. Corrosion is one thing. Actual degradation to the board is quite another. So just going to clean it up a little bit. I don't see anything actually burnt. I mean, you've got things like this, but look at this, just comes right off. It's not anything really invasive, see? So, yeah. All right. We're going to use the isopropyl alcohol and kind of get under this here. I'll start with this chip we were just messing with, just to kind of take a look so you can see how much better it can turn out with a simple cleaning. I need to find my toothbrush. You can use several different tools to clean this. I prefer a toothbrush when it's like this, but I can't find it. Stand by. All right, so a little alcohol, and there you go. So looking at this, other than just a tiny bit of discoloring, it's fine. Moving over to the Wi-Fi card. Let's clean this here. Soak the back. You really can't hurt these things too much. There's the front where the card goes in. It looks to be fine now. There's a little bit of corrosion there, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's a deal breaker. The back here, looking at these green things here, you'll see that they mostly come right off. See? Of course, if this does work and I'm able to sell it, of course I will be very transparent with the listing that it has recovered fully from a liquid damage. All right, so this is the worst part, I think, in my opinion, and that's this right here. Just spraying that on there made it even look better. All right, well that really turned out nicely. So the back is pretty nasty. Now there may be some remnants in there, but I don't believe it's going to be enough to cause any problems. All right, moving right along to the USBs. That's very minimal and it's only on the metal. I'm still going to clean it just to make sure that we don't have any major issues going inside there. And if this starts up, that'd be pretty nice. All right, now we are down to this corner where there was quite a bit of corrosion, but I don't really see any parts taken out from it. Those parts look all right. So far, so good. Let's see about... All right, yeah, that's just between them. It's just more debris. So I think I'll go up and down on these. That should fix that. Okay, pretty good. And then lastly, a little bit on the back side there. Now that is the CMOS battery, I believe, plugs in there, the BIOS battery. I think the best thing to do for this, maybe to take a look at these with a multimeter. Well, let's just see if this turns on. How about that? Let's just do that. Last one I want to clean up is this right here. This is right where the keyboard LED goes in. Backlight keyboard. And if I was to sell this, I've been considering getting an ultrasonic cleaner. And I've got a couple boards that I'm just holding back for that reason, just to give it a good clean. One of them had bugs and roaches. There's a lot of debris from that. So this would be another one that I would hold off. I mean, we can still count profit on it, but I would hold off listing it for now. All right, so we have our HDMI cable to look at channel 4 right here. Yeah, an ultrasonic clean would do really, really well on this board, I think. Okay, going to use different RAM and a different slot. This is DDR4. So we'll just check it out there, put that there. And get some power. I'm using an HP charger. It doesn't really matter as long as it will power it up. And I don't know what happened to the forgot to pull out that. All right, so we'll plug that back in. It plugs in here like that. I'm guessing upside down. There we go. All right, so now here comes the moment of truth. Let's see if we got a light somewhere. Well, that turned on. Let's see what we got on channel 4. Is there anything coming through? Remember when these have been off for some time? They do weird things like take forever to go through the initial boot. It's doing different things with the fan. That's good. And it's still on. So we might get some sort of CMOS, battery reset, something like that. That's what we're looking for. Give it another little bit. It's on its third restart. Switch back to this camera for a moment. So this fan is doing its number, and this light keeps going on and off. It did restart a couple times. I think I'm going to try a different RAM just in case. And that turned it off, so that's also good news. Let's try the original RAM just for the heck of it. We'll try to clean it up a little bit. That's not terrible. We'll just try it out because we know this at one time worked in here. All right, try one more time here. We have the light for a second. And fan spinning. Nothing. I'm looking right here and I don't see anything just yet. All right. So this is doing the exact same thing the other RAM stick did. It's not restarting. So it's almost like it is another stick of RAM that will not work. So we're going to try another stick of RAM. Sometimes hit and miss, you know. Trial and error is what you got to do. And then you end up finally finding a situation that actually works. Lights on, still. Nothing on the screen. Okay, turned off. Let's see if it turns back on. It did. It'd be really nice to see this post something on this screen. But I'm seeing nothing but black screen here. Not seeing a cursor, not seeing anything. That's what we're seeing right there. So this may be a bust. I was really hoping that one was going to work. Well, look at that. It actually works. All right. So, interesting. All right. So it just took its time, and that's using not the original RAM. That's using another piece of RAM I used. Okay, so looking at the screen here, you'll see that it's a 5567. I'm going to go, I'm going to pause this and put a keyboard in here so we can go to the BIOS and get this exact information on this. So stand by. Okay, it shut off on me, but I think that was just because it was sitting on that screen. I'm turning it back on. Fan's coming. There we go. This is good. All right, so I'm going to go with my keyboard, which does not work. That USB might be shot or just corroded. Try another one. That one works. All right. So let's see what we've got. Where's your BIOS? We just went to the BIOS. Okay. I'm going to hit F2. See if it goes into the BIOS from there. There. All right, now it appears that it's shut down completely. I don't know if there's a heat issue or it's just remnants from the damage. We'll try one more time to get into this BIOS. I'm going to press F2. With Dell, F2 will bring you to the BIOS. There it goes. I don't know what's happening here. But apparently it's not wanting to go to BIOS. There it is. Okay. An i5 7200. That's something to keep in mind. i5 7200U. Okay. So we got that. i5 7200U. So that's what we're looking at. Let's go i5 7200U. I'm going to look on eBay here to see what we've got. i5 7200U. Oh, I'm typing on the wrong keyboard, guys. Let's try this again. i5 7200U. Okay. All right, yeah. So apparently it's not a really high-end processor because these things right here are going for cheap. But let's see what we've got as far as the Dell. Was it 5277? There we go again. All right, no, that wasn't it. Okay, so we can go back and look at the footage real quick. Let me figure out what that is. Stand by 1 second. Okay, I just looked through it and it's a 5567. 5567. So let's see what we've got. Let's see here. 48 bucks. 54 bucks. That's what they're listing for. Let's see what... Oh, that's sold. Okay, good. All right, so here's the thing. I would list this for 40 bucks with the note that there was damage to it and that it's been cleaned up. I would clean it with the ultrasonic cleaner before listing it. Okay, so we're going to call this one 40 bucks. So we'll go to our spreadsheet here and we will add another 40 bucks. That makes it $70 so far. $59.54 net after eBay profit or eBay fees and whatnot. All right, so that one I'll set aside. And we will move on to the next one. Sorry, it's kind of taking a little longer. It's a little more problematic items, you know. Okay. All right, next one is a Chromebook. Chromebook. And this is using one of those super tiny Acer plugs. So I'm going to get back to this one because I need to find one of those plugs. Those are a little difficult to find. Gateway. This gateway is a lower end gateway. I'll bet you it works. Looking at the specs here, Celeron processor. But the thing is, it's aesthetically pleasing. Nice round corners and things. So that's when somebody that has one of these might say to themselves, you know, I think I want to keep it, so go ahead and fix it. So we're going to go ahead and see what we got. I'm thinking the board on this is not going to be pricey at all. All right, so we plugged it in. I don't see a battery charging light, and it's not turning on. So that is a bit of a different, I think that's a different plug that it uses for this particular one. The center pin on these, there we go. Center pin on these is a bit different. So this uses ones that are like on Acers and stuff like that. All right, now we should get When we plug it in, we should get a battery light right here, which we do. Okay, so good news. Now, let's turn it on. And this is not a bad looking laptop, actually. So, hit a bunch of buttons to try to see about getting to setup. See if it goes and turns on. Again, when you're turning on something that hasn't been turned on in, sometimes years, you got to give it a little time because it's kind of waking back up, and booting up takes a little bit longer. All right, so I'm getting nothing on the screen at all. Is it a screen problem? Maybe. Not likely. So I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to hook it up to external display. And then we'll go over here and turn it on. It's running. See if we get anything on external. Nope. Okay, kind of expected. So maybe the RAM is pulled out. Let's pop it open and have a look. I'm going to disconnect the battery because, you know what, it's still on. That's why. So I'm going to turn it off completely. Always a good idea. All right, so then we'll just open this up, see what we can find in here. No RAM. All right, kind of thought that. So this is going to be DDR3 RAM. So we'll put a little piece of RAM in there. And then we will attempt this again. I think it's going to turn on just fine. All right, here we go. Look for the screen, logo, something. Of course, oh yeah, look at that. It's shattered. No wonder it's in recycling. But that's okay because we have external. Plug that in. See what we get. See what we get. If we see anything at all. Sometimes you don't get anything when you have the original display plugged in. So I'm going to actually see if I can get that unplugged, or possibly put another one on there. It's kind of a hassle to do that when you're talking about a $30 motherboard, but let's go and look. This is an NE51006U. So let's look that up. NE51006U. NE51006U. All right. 26 bucks. Parts only though. Okay, so parts only. Wow, look at this. No battery, hard drive, no OS. Sold for 10 bucks. Okay, so yeah, look at that. 5 bucks. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is gonna be a hard pass because there's just no money there. And I'm not getting any display, so we're just gonna call it on this one. Sometimes you gotta just kind of decide what is worth it, because not everything will be, and you're gonna come across things that might be attractive, but then again might be a waste of time. All right, moving next one. This is a Toshiba. I pulled this one because believe it or not, yeah, okay. I pulled this one because it's fairly complete. So we're gonna see what we got on this. This one will probably work. It's a lower end processor, which usually means that it's in recycling because it's just not worth fixing. And this one's got a bunch of schmutz on it. All right, we got a battery light, so I'm sure it's going to work. F2 on this will bring us to setup. I think it's F2 on this. All right, it's beeping like crazy. That could be a number of things. That could be no RAM. That could be a sticky key, and this thing is nasty, so it's, you know, and it's no RAM. All right, this is DDR3 as well, so I will use the same stick we just used. Okay. F2 again. Whoops, this side. All right, let's look at this, see what we got. F2. Yeah, see, messed up screen, but it's a working laptop as far as the motherboard goes. So cool. We just want to remember when looking this up, we want to remember the actual processor, because this could have 8 different versions of the same exact model. So E300, very low end, and the model C855D. Okay, let's look that up. C855D, and I put in E300 to see about getting the same one. Okay, so yeah, same one, 40 bucks, 49. Just, of course, that's just for that. So let's look at the motherboard. See what we get. I'm gonna guess 20 bucks, 30 bucks? No, none. Okay, so let's see if there's any actually listed that are for sale. Interesting. Okay, so let me take out this part and put in the rest of this model number. Yeah, 20 bucks. And of course, they're asking 85 plus shipping. Did any sell? That's the point. Sold items. Nope. All right, so this one, again, it's a pass. It's just not worth it, because it's, I mean, if I send this whole thing to recycling, it might be worth $5 or $6. I'll take that rather than package something up and everything else, you know? All right. Here we go. Last one. Well, we still have that Chromebook. I have to find the charger for it. So, all right. Last one here is an HP. This one I picked because it's got an i5. It's in really nice condition, other than a couple of keys screwed up. So this might be worthwhile. So we need to plug up a charger that works for the HP, which is this big fat one. All right. Don't know if there's any RAM in this, but it will let us know. All right, we got a light on the front. And on these, escape goes to the startup menu. Everything looks good so far. If this is a little nicer, I might even refurb it for the shop. But all right, system information. All right, we got an M520 processor. So M520. All right, so we're going to look up a couple things on this one. We know it obviously works. All right, it's a ProBook 6450B. So I'm going to look that up first. That's 70 bucks. That's not terrible. I mean, imagine if you pick this up at a garage sale for like $5. You know, you could turn that into this. All right, so, okay. So, the question is, would it be wise to sell this as is for 50 some dollars? I don't know. I don't know that I want to do that. I just like selling motherboards. So let's see. MOTHERBOARD. All right. So we got a motherboard for 20 bucks. But if you recall, on these HPs, they actually have a part number. So this board might go into, let's say, 10, 20 different models. And we go to where the RAM is, and we go underneath the RAM, and we usually will find the part number of the board. Alright, so no part number here. Usually there's a sticker, like a replacement sticker right there. It's not on there. That's alright. This has DDR3 RAM. Alright, so let's go back to this and see about that processor, because I did not make a note. So plug it back in one more time and see what the board is going for with that exact processor, because it may be slightly different. All right. It appears there's a DVD in this thing. Interesting. Yeah. All right, so it's an M520. So let's look that up. M520. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm just going to put this up for 30 bucks. As is, the whole thing. No hard drive, 4 gigs of RAM, because it's in really nice condition otherwise. So, 4 gigs of RAM. That's not terrible. Not for what this is. Alright. So, we'll put this back on with the RAM inside, battery intact and all that. I doubt this has a hard drive. But let's see, just in case, so we know. If it has a hard drive, I'll put 40 bucks on it, because it's not going to be terrible to ship it. No hard drive. Okay, guys, it wasn't the best, but it's something. What did I say? 30 bucks? 40 bucks. All right. Yeah. The more I think about it, I think, 35 bucks. I think that's where we need to be on this. So we're going to say another 35 bucks. 105. Whoops. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, that's right. 105. All right. Made 89 bucks today. Total is 1,700 after 5 episodes. Not bad. And then with recycling, we've got two of them going to recycling, so that's right in the neighborhood of 11 bucks. All right. Okay, so I found a plug for this one. We have a light for a second there, and let's see. Uh-oh. Well, that's weird. Okay, so this one obviously has issues. So we're going to send that one to recycling. And that's another 6 bucks. 6 bucks in recycling. 6 bucks. All right, guys, I got one more. One more I kind of just stumbled across just now. I will grab it. Be right back. Okay, what we have now is another HP, and there's no drive here. There's no damage. and it looks all right. It's got the RAM in it, so we'll plug it in, see what we got. This will be the last one today. i5 7th gen. Do not know the story on this one, so let's see what it does. All right, I think I hit the power button. Let's unplug it, try one more time. You got to remember on these, when it sits too long, there we go. When it sits too long, you end up getting that CMOS reset. We call it an error, but it's not really an error. But you'll see CMOS reset right here. And that's when it's been off for some time without power. Nothing so far. We have no fan nor anything, but we do have a light showing that it's getting power. Everything is plugged in, not really getting any heat per se. Okay, so this is a good board, so this might be one for a later video to do a repair on and really get into it, see what we can figure out. So we'll call it on that one. Guys, appreciate everything. Thank you for everybody subscribing and viewing these videos. I know this wasn't as exciting as some of the other ones, but I will keep moving along, trying to put out some quality stuff that's fun and interesting to watch. If you have any suggestions of videos, please feel free to send me an email. I don't really read comments so much because sometimes you get trolls and things like that. I'd rather just make it a positive experience and ignore the hate. There was a couple people saying that I should script, but I do this in real time. And I don't know what I'm coming across necessarily before you do, so I can't really script that, and I'm busy running a business, so I don't really have time to have long drawn-out scripts. Now that could change down the road, maybe, but as for right now, things are going just fine the way they are. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is in the channel description and such. Have a great day, and we will crank out some more videos in the next few days. See ya.